First off, I just want to say hello out there to everybody who listens and pays attention and that loves that rock and roll, that metal. Yeah, we have to have it, and it's just kind of like the way it is. Hey, on this episode, I've got an old friend, man. We met back in high school, back in Texas, and it's been a long, long road for both of us, and it's nice to be talking to an old buddy of mine, and his name is Robert Palazzaro, aka Kid Blue. And welcome out to BlAsted, man. It's kind of a new thing, and it's more of just like a radio thing. And I guess we'll just crank it up about right now and see what you guys think about this. Let's give it a go. Well, hello everybody, and welcome out to Rock the Block. Doing it for you on a welcome to the weekend, and coming into the studio, man, we've got a old friend of ours, Bobby Blue. That's right, he's going to be talking to us. We're going to give him a call right now, and he's got a couple of things coming up we're going to talk to you about. And here we go. See if we get him on the line. Bobby, hang on 1 second, brother. Did you say something there?
Hello.
Yeah, perfect, man. I just want to make sure I can get you the mic real clear and everything. I've got it set up right there. Hey, man, what's up, brother? Long time no see, man. Long time no talk. We,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just trying to take a couple hours before I gotta take off and go to the venue and talk to you on the interview.
Right on, right on. Busy night. What time are you guys going on tonight?
We're still on it. We're telling everybody we're going on at 9, but we're looking to go on about 9:30 or so.
Yeah, y'all aren't the only group then.
Yeah, we are the only group.
The only group. Wow, man. Sounds like a great big time, dude. I mean, I would love to be there, man. Hopefully next time. But the Hit Squad. Tell me about it a little bit. I don't really know much about it. What happened there? How'd you get this featuring your name, Bobby Blue? Shit.
Well, it actually is, I've got my own act here in town called the Bobby Blue Rock Revival.
Wow.
And I believe I sent you the logo and stuff, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
Okay, so the guitar player from that from the Bobby Blue Rock Revival
Hmm.
has this cover act called Hit Squad,
Oh.
and he plays in a few other bands. He's a real eclectic looking character in the picture, with the dreads and the goggles, and just a total rock star looking dude. And
Amazing.
so he's a great guitar player. Anyway, super guy too.
Right on.
So he called me up and said, hey, I got this gig, and would you like to be the featured vocalist, and I'd love to have you, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool.
And
Let's
offered to feature you.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
That's
called me up and
badass.
yeah. So he's like, yeah, we'll bill it as the Hit Squad featuring Bobby Blue, and
It's a good name.
I'll treat you like the rock star you are, is what he said.
That's good, man. That sounds fantastic. I mean, you are the name. You've been doing this for a minute for sure, man. And I want to ask you a question about that. Actually, we've known each other for so long since high school and stuff. And so, do dreams come true, man? I've heard you write. I've seen you write about this on your Facebook and stuff. And what do you think, man?
Well, I came out to Las Vegas on October 13th to audition for Las Vegas' #1 rock show, performing on the third floor main ballroom.
The Hard Rock Casino, right?
At the Hard Rock, right? So that show's been the #1 rock show in Vegas for, I guess, the last 10 years.
Wow.
I was recommended to the musical director of that show, who is the keyboardist who plays with Leon Ford and Aldo Nova. And basically, it's an all-star cover act. It's a big show.
Mitch Perry was playing. Hang on 1 second, brother. Sorry about that.
I was recommended by a friend that he obviously respected. He called me up. We had a nice phone conversation for an hour or so, and he's like, yeah, I want to get you down here. So he said, come down on October 13th. Saturday, we're gonna audition you at the sound check before our sold out show.
Wow.
The show runs on Tuesdays,
No
Tuesdays,
pressure.
Thursdays. Yeah, they run. Well, check this out. Yeah, the show runs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So yeah, I'm auditioning with the drummer from fucking Slaughter, and then
Blas.
the others. Yeah, Lost Alive. And the secondary drummer in the cast is Les Warner from the Cult.
Oh, wow.
I've got Michael T. Ross as the keyboardist. He's played with Fleetwood Naldo Nova.
Yeah.
Recently, still doing shows with them.
Amazing.
Mitch Perry on guitar.
Wow.
Michael Schenker Group and
Cher. Yeah.
Scotty, I can't remember his last name, but he's the bass player from Great White.
Oh, cool.
And then a guitarist, his name's Zora Maddox, who played with Bow Wow Wow.
That's amazing.
And,
What a band. What a band. So when you go out there and you're jamming with those guys, Bobby, do you feel like, hey man, I belong here? Of course, I mean, what is that feeling like?
Well, the feeling was, actually, I can't believe I got this opportunity at my age.
Nice.
Because all of these guys have, a slightly bigger resume
Oh, yeah.
than I do, but some of them, they don't have their own record. I've got my own 17
Sure.
album out.
But they played with whoever, and yeah, they're doing their thing. I get it. So there's a mutual respect, I'm sure.
Well, I was on the new kid on the block, so they were like, okay, who's this guy? Well, I was told, to show up in my stage gear and
Jesus.
and present myself as I would on stage. So I came in my custom leather outfit,
Right.
And they told me, they wanted to see if I could sing some Ian Gillan, so they wanted me to do Smoke on the Water.
Wow.
And then which was no problem.
Just right off the bat, Ian Gillan, man, that's no, that's not easy.
Well, Michael T. Ross was asking me during our conversation, what kind of stuff would you say you do best? And I said, well, I fronted a Led Zeppelin cover act in Central Texas, in Austin, Texas for 5 years. It was pretty popular, called Moby Dick. And he's like, well, we've already got a guy, King Kong, does the Led Zeppelin stuff. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, I could really kill some ACDC. And he laughed, and he said, oh, Bobby, let's just leave that one alone. That's one vocalist, male and female, that have said that they can pull that off, and they haven't been able to do it.
Hmm.
And then I said, live in Jesus, live in free.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, okay. And then he told me, he's like, look,
You can sing it.
he said, if you can nail Thunderstruck, then you're in.
No
And
shit.
I said, okay, that's cool. So I show up for the audition, I'm all dressed out,
And I mean, this is an audition in front of a live crowd, or is?
no, check this
Okay.
out. It's a sound check.
Okay.
So, it's a sound check on the, in the showroom, on the showroom stage that they perform on.
Rock.
I'll send you some pictures of it.
Okay.
You have to send me your new phone number so I can text you photos because I can't
All right.
transfer from my phone to Messenger. So
Right.
when we get off the phone, text me your phone number.
Okay.
And I'll text you actual pictures from the audition.
Nice.
So he tells me if you can nail Thunderstruck, then you're in. And so he's like, okay, we're gonna do those 2 songs,
Wow.
and we'll probably just gonna do them up to the solo because it's soundtrack. We'll only have time for that much. He's like, the owner and producer of the show, Sir Harry Cowell.
Of the actual show itself, not the casino or any of that.
No,
Okay.
no, the actual show producer and owner
Mm.
of the
He owns it.
Rockwall branch.
Okay.
He's like, his name is Sir Harry Cowell, tall British bald guy. He's like, if don't be offended if he doesn't, acknowledge you or say that he, or say anything to you. That's just how he is.
Mm.
So the place is empty except for the casting crew, and he's sitting in the fucking front row with his legs crossed, with his hand on his face. And I go out on stage, fucking,
I mean, this is like a big gig at this moment, even though there's 1 people there. There's
when people in town here hear that I'm in the Rock Ball, it's like I'm a rock star.
Nice.
You know, they're like, oh my God, you're a Rock Ball? Holy shit, you know?
Exactly.
And then, you know, because after you know, after the show, you sit at a long autograph table and you sign autographs and take pictures with, you know, people.
Till it's done.
You know, so it was pretty surreal.
Nice.
But after, you know, my first show, it was pretty surreal. So anyways.
Yeah, I saw you with some pictures of some ladies out there looking pretty surreal, all right.
Yeah, well, they're all going to be at my show tonight, trust me. So I go out there, and the guitar player is Zoran Maddox. He's a Serbian guy, so he's got this accent.
Okay.
And so he's like, all right, you ready? Let's try Thunderstruck. So I'm like, okay. So we roll through it, and I'm like, I was caught in the middle of a railroad track.
Wow, that sounds cool.
The band lights up. Everybody's looking at each other, going, "What the fuck is this guy?" Right?
Yeah.
So we take that up to the fucking solo, and we play through the solo and almost the whole song, and then he's like, "You know another one? You know another one?" And I said, "Yeah, I was supposed to learn how to smoke on the water." He said, "Oh, you can just smoke on the water?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we went and did that, and he's like, and he's all wide-eyed, and he's like, "Oh, do you know another one? You know another one?"
Really?
And I said, Zoran, I know every song in your set list. He's like, what? And I said, you know every song? I said, yeah, I came prepared. And he's like, okay, you want to do another one? And I said, sure, you want to do Living on a Prayer? And he's like, you can do Living on a Prayer?
Dude, that's hard to sing.
Johnny, you will come down. So I start singing. So we go do that, and then fucking, you know, we go to the solo, and he goes, you know another one? You know, I said, I know them all, bro. And he's like, oh, you want to do another one? I said, you want to do another one? He's like, nah. I said, how about All Right Now? And he's like, all right. And I'm like, whoa. And so two partial songs turned into 4 songs. And so we ended it, and everybody's shaking my hand and telling me what a great job I did. And then fucking Michael T. Rock, the musical director, comes from behind the keyboard. And he says, and he grabs his buddy on, he's like, go backstage. And I'll meet you backstage. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I go backstage. He grabs me, so he comes whizzing backstage, grabs me by the elbows and follows me. So we go into the stairwell, and he lights up a cigarette. He's like, fuck, dude, you just torched that. You just fucking killed it. And I'm like, really? And he's like, what do you mean, really? He's like, you're a world-class vocalist. Don't you know that? And I'm like, well, I come in from you. It's a really nice compliment.
No shit.
He's like, look, he whips out his phone, he's looking on his calendar, when are you available? And so
everything's going perfect, man, you know?
Yeah, so my first 2 shows were sold out Thursday and sold out Saturday night. And then he says to me in the stairwell, he's like, Sir Harry Cowell came up to me and he told me, you don't need my approval on this one.
Whoa.
And he's like, he never says that. And so that's what happened. And
are you still there?
So, yeah, he told me that. Michael T. Ross told me that. You know,
okay.
You know, and then when I came out from the stairwell with him, Sir Harry came up to me and I thanked him for his time and the opportunity. And
so this is right after the show, right inside the yeah.
Right after my audition.
Okay, the audition, yeah.
And
right then.
After I did my first show, then he came up to me and congratulated me on my first show. Everybody in the cast was like, you know, fucking, you know, you nailed it. I can't, you know, this is your
you know, I met a couple of your admirers, man, down there. A couple of ladies, and my God, dude, they said you killed it, man. They love you. they do, and you're good for my little Rock the Block ratings, actually, man. You're like probably one of the top 3 that I could show one picture of or anything of, and that's a compliment, man. I appreciate that, and it's got to feel good for you.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
So then, you know, I had my, before that, I had my Bobby Blue Rock Revival Las Vegas debut at one of the premier venues called The Space.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How long have you been in Vegas, man? I mean,
I've been in Vegas for 5 months, bro.
That's it?
Yeah, I put
Because
together a fucking complete band for the Bobby Blue Rock Revival. I put together that band in less than 30
how did
days.
you do that, dude? How did you get back in shape enough to? I saw you here play out in Hutto last time I saw you.
Bro, when the word got out, listen, I was hanging out okay, the reality series, Counting Cars, it's a spinoff
Of
from,
course.
Monstars,
Hmm.
with the guy, Danny Coker, with the bandana and the long hair.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Danny Coker owns the premier rock venue here. It's not a casino related place called
Okay.
Dance.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm hanging out in VIP at Dance with fucking Sebastian Bach and
Sure.
fucking
Well, that ain't nothing you haven't done before, though. I mean, but this time is different.
right, so check it out. So I'm hanging out with JP Lee, fucking Sebastian Bach. We're in the VIP,
Gotcha.
and fucking a friend of mine takes a picture, posts it, and says, this is my brother Bobby Blue, and he's new in
Sweet.
Vegas. That fucking post blew up in about an hour,
I bet.
and my phone was fucking blowing up with people coming out of the woodwork
I bet.
saying, "Oh my God, you're in town, man! I want to work."
Anybody from high school? I mean,
No, it was fucking people from the Bay Area that knew who Bobby
ah,
was.
yeah,
And that had moved here and that or had
sure.
known. And so they so musicians started coming out of the woodwork saying, "Hey man, I heard you're in town. I'd love to work with you. Whatever you want to do,
Nice.
whatever you want to do." So then I came up with the concept. Okay, well that's whatever I want to do. Then
Yeah,
let's do the Bobby Blue Rock Revival. Okay, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Well, what songs you want to do? I'm totally in. So I was able to cherry pick a fucking killer band, and then we had our debut show
Oh, dude.
at a nonprofit.
So your musicianship choice out there is just, man, you sound like you got it going on, dude. You know, the people you're playing with.
I'll tell you what, it was as surprising as it was humbling.
I can see that.
To get this kind of response,
Yeah.
and to have people coming out and saying,
What do you
whatever
think?
you want to do, bro.
What do you think that's
work.
about, Bobby? I mean, tell me, man. What do you think that's about? I mean, I have an opinion, but what do you think it's about?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I haven't been introduced as Bobby Blue for fucking 30 plus years.
I know it. Yeah. Yeah.
But when I came here, people were introducing me as Bobby Blue, and to my surprise, fucking
Because you went to Robert Pellizzero a while back.
yeah, eight out of 10 people were going, "Oh my God, you're Bobby Blue, Kid Blue. I saw you here. I
Sweet.
saw you there. Oh my God, can I get a picture? Can I buy
Dude, that thing was big, man. Dude, the songs are killer.
Check out what happened. Check this fucking thing out. There's one of the top original bands here in town. It's called Smashing Alice. Okay, so and they're playing a band, and I'm in VIP, and they're kind of a little, harder, a little thrashier than the ones in my lane. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching them, and the singer, fucking, by the end of the show, had won me over. I mean,
Oh, really?
His voice was strong from point A to point Z.
Wow.
But his stage presence was cool. So instead of waiting for him to come out from the dressing room and being a fanboy, which I'm not, I fucking decided to just go back into the dressing room and tell him how impressed I was.
Nice.
So check this footage.
Did you end up in a fight?
Check this shit out, baby.
Okay.
I walked back into the dressing room, unannounced, uninvited. Just walked past me, and
Oh, God.
so I walked back there, and the singer turns around, and
If you knew Bobby the way I do, you would be laughing too. So go ahead.
So I said, hey, I stuck out my hand, and I said, hey, man, from one vocalist to another, I just want to tell you, man, how impressive you were tonight. I really enjoyed your show.
That's big.
And you really killed it. And he's like, oh, man, thanks a lot. What band do you play in? Get this. I said, well, I play in a band called Kid Blue. He's like, his jaw dropped, and his eyes got as wide as fucking saucers.
Really?
And he's like, what? You mean hold me, which is one of my songs.
Yep.
That Bobby Blue? You're Bobby
Pull
Blue?
me
And I said,
tight.
yeah, Bobby Blue. I'm Bobby Blue from Kid Blue. He's like, no fucking way. I grew up on you, man.
What?
I grew up listening to you.
What?
Turns out his dad
No shit. Word up, Scotty.
Scotty Crowder gave him one of my fucking EP cassette
Yeah.
tapes.
Yep.
Fucking, he brought it home and gave it to him when he was 11. And
Wow.
the kid said, and he's like, I literally grew up listening to you, man. You're the reason I fucking started in rock and roll. And
That's
so
insane.
Me going in to give him a compliment turned into like one of the best compliments
You've ever had. Yeah. You were his influence, basically, is what he's telling you.
Well, that's what he said verbatim. I grew up listening to you. Oh my God, you know. And
Wow.
then he starts singing my one of my other songs, Westwood.
How does that make you feel, Bobby? I don't even know. How does that make you feel? What happens?
I mean, how would it make anyone feel? You know, it's like after years,
Happy motherfucker.
kind of being out of the game, so to speak.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, the scene in Austin, Texas,
It's not the game.
It is Austin,
It's
Texas.
not the game. No. It's nothing like the yeah.
Sixth Street's not what it was
Nope.
like it was when you and I, were
Exactly.
killing it, in our 20s.
Yep.
You know, it's a bunch of hip hop and
all hip hop. Those are the rock stars. Yeah.
Yeah. So and so it was super, super flattering and so I go back out to the VIP.
And all that energy though that you put forth all those years ago, because I was there, I saw a lot of this. I heard all of it. I was there, I was watching it as it happened from afar. To see that finally come back around after that many fucking years, man. I mean, it's just, dude, that is badass, man. I like that a lot.
You know what? I've had a couple of friends that have told me, Bobby, I can't fucking believe that it's like you've come back from the dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, you haven't really aged much, to me. I mean,
to resurrect the Kid Blue brand and the
I thought so too.
Is after all this time it's
have you thought about trying to rework them songs? Those are great songs, though. Who was that guitar player, man?
Check it out. My record company, F&A Records, out of Chicago, has been bugging the hell out of me for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Kid Blue record, because we're one of the best-selling artists on their label.
I bet.
And so, coincidentally, I'm working with the drummer, Jimmy Pacheco, from a band called Babylon AT.
Yep.
I'm working with him. He's here in town, and we're both Bay Area boys.
Dude, that sounds good. So good.
So we've been working together on some new material,
and shit takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. So
I'm actually doing what you said. Well, I'm actually going to rework a few of the Kid Blue's best songs.
Yeah.
And
man, I remember a tune called Rocket Roulette. It wasn't really on the big push. That was the early, whatever.
Yeah, that's one of the songs off the very first EP that I made.
Right.
And so, yeah, I actually wrote that.
It's a great song. Yeah, on the jet plane, flying back and forth, right?
I wrote that on a jet plane coming out to Austin, Texas to visit your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my Walkman and my notepad. But, so I come out from the backstage and go back to the VIP, and Danny Coker, the club owner and the reality TV star, comes up to me, and he puts out his hand, and I shake his hand, and he puts his other hand on top of me. He's like, brother, I think I know you. And of course, I'd never met him before, but I said, you know what? You might know me, brother. He's like, well, welcome to the family. So, so there's that. And,
there's that.
And then, Kid Blue, my title track for my album, Big Trouble, was the featured track.
I think yeah.
Yeah, it was the featured track on a movie.
In a movie, yeah, right. I saw that, man. That's cool.
From a rock and roll documentary called Here I Go Again.
I actually saw that, man. That's cool as shit, dude.
Yeah, which it debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, and then it which is out of the country.
Well, man, I just want to tell everybody, if you've been listening to my show, watching what I'm doing or whatever, it's like I talk about Robert Pellizzero or Bobby Blue, Kid Blue, from, the San Jose. You were basically San Jose, but y'all played the Stone Pony a lot. Is that what was happening?
The Stone Pony isn't in Vegas. I think the Stone Pony is back east.
I thought that. What do they call the Stone? What was it? Where'd you play at in San Francisco? Stone.
Broadway in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a famous place.
I played that venue or 20 seconds at the end while the credits are rolling.
Right.
But this particular situation, my song "Big Trouble" was featured in the middle of the movie, and they played 2 minutes. They played 2 minutes and 47 seconds of a
Wow.
3 minute 15-second song.
Wow.
So it was kind of surreal seeing my name up on the credits, and my band's name, several times,
Yeah.
and then getting up and speaking before the audience. That was
Just
that was
goes to show you how good that work was, man. I mean, it didn't get what I think it deserved, but then again, underground it kind of is, bro. So that's badass, man.
well,
People know what's good. They know what they like, whether the record companies saw it or not. We all know.
Well, it's music is somewhat political and very cyclical. So
Yeah.
there's a cycle that goes around, and
Yeah.
at the time we were doing our best material,
Yeah.
grunge came in, and Pearl Jam and
Yeah.
Nirvana took over the scene. But we when we were picked up by F&A Records, we quickly became the #1 seller, and I've been receiving royalty checks ever since.
Sweet.
So there I was as surprised as anyone to
Yeah.
see the response that I got since I've been here, and it's just it's amazing. I had no idea that so many people knew who Kid Blue was, knew who Bobby Blue was.
I mean, they were giving you full page ads out there that I remember seeing that all the time. I mean, that magazine just wasn't a local mag, was it? Or
No, well, we were playing, we were a Bay Area band, but we were also playing in L.A.
okay,
So
yeah, I remember that.
we were playing the Roxy Theater next to the Rainbow with acts like Jeff Scott Soto.
Right. I don't know how I missed that fucking gig. I don't remember where I was at, but I missed your show that night. Damn it.
We did the Country Club and Reseda
Yeah.
with Poison. We did the Troubadour. We played the Whiskey several times.
You did it.
Yeah, so we toured up Sunset Strip and the surrounding areas. We played in in San Diego at Fender's Ballroom. And we made the rounds.
It was fucking competitive back then, man.
I'm sorry.
It was very competitive back then, man.
Oh yeah, that was the '80s, man.
Dude.
Was rocking.
They were all playing their asses off.
So I never wanted to be considered just a Bay Area band. So I wanted to play the whole West Coast and take over the world at that time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's big stuff, dude. So tell me where it goes from here, man. What's next for you?
Well, what's next for me is
You
my
get-
show
Tonight.
at Bonfire in Las Vegas. And for all my Las Vegas friends, anybody that wants to show up, it's going to be packed, and it's going to be going to be great friends, great music, and a great time. So
Free cover too, right?
I'm sorry.
No cover charge.
No, that's a free show.
That's
It's a free
amazing.
show at a great venue, and we're looking forward to putting on a good show for everybody. So what's next for me is to continue on with my Boss Blue Rock Revival and continue on with doing the shows at the Rock Vault, or with the Rock Vault at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah. Well, man, I want to say congratulations, dude. I think it's well deserved, and I'm sure you just didn't jump up there in 5 months. I'm sure you were training, running. I know you working out. You were doing something, I'm sure, to get yourself mentally there and
You're absolutely right.
physically there. I've known you for too long.
When this whole thing started coming together, I started, putting myself back together, getting in shape, singing every day.
Nice.
So, you got when you're given an opportunity like this, especially at my age, you got
That's
to
right.
you got to do the homework, and you got to be
Prepared.
ready to,
Got to be prepared and ready to rock. Rock the block, baby. Hey, Bobby, man, thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Hey, everybody, get out there to the show tonight. It's at the Bonfire. Bobby Blue. And there you go, man. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, brother. Send me those pictures. I love you too, Bob, man. Thanks, man. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, man.